Hey, so today we've got another local business case study. I'm going to be going over this campaign right here that we've actually been running since about October of 2023. So it's been going for a little while, and I wanted to go over how we were able to actually generate over 1,000 leads for this particular client. And that number continues to grow day by day as we continue to keep moving forward with this campaign. And I'm going to walk through some of the different parts of the campaign so you can kind of see how we're generating those leads, and maybe you can pull some stuff for yourself. But if you're new here, my name is Chris. I cover all things local lead generation, Google Ads, all that kind of stuff. And if you are a local business owner looking to run a Google Ads campaign for your particular business and you want somebody to build something like this for you, there's a link in the description below. You can submit that. They'll send it over to me. I can check it out, see if I can help you out. But with all that said, let's just jump right into the case study and see what's working. So before we start walking through the different parts of the campaign, let's just go over the numbers really quick, go over the main campaign, go over the remarketing campaign, and then I'll kind of walk through some of the settings, some of the keywords, all that kind of stuff that have allowed us to generate over 1,000 leads for this particular client. So let's just kind of jump right into it. So as you can already see, we're running a main search campaign right here. This has been running since pretty much 2023 at this point. I think we started this one in about November of 2023. Over that period of time, we've had 2,300 clicks, 766 leads have come from the campaign, converting about 33% of those clicks into leads at about $22.50 per lead. And that has remained pretty steady over time, and we're still getting leads right around that point to this day. And then on top of that, we started running a retargeting campaign at about September of last year, and that has gotten 373 conversions for $10 each. And you can see the conversion rate on that one is also really, really good. It's at 25%. The reason that is we're taking the people for this retargeting campaign and we're actually sending them to the same landing page that we're using for the window tinting campaign here. And that's helping us boost that conversion rate to cut down the cost per lead. And all in between both campaigns, we've had 1,139 leads at a total cost per lead of $18.46. And the combined conversion rate is sitting at about 30%. So these numbers have been awesome for this particular client for a while. And what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to jump into a few different areas of the campaign and show you why we've been able to generate these results and how you might be able to take it and then implement it for your business. So the first thing I wanted to go over is the settings for the main search campaign. The remarketing campaign has pretty much similar settings, so there's no real point in going over both of them. So I wanted to go over the main search campaign and kind of show you what we're doing. First thing you're going to notice is we are running on Google Search Network only. There's no search partners, no display network. You want to make sure your ads are showing up in Google Search. A lot of times what's going to happen is the search partners network is going to send you really irrelevant leads, people looking for jobs and stuff like that. And the display network is usually just a lot of really irrelevant traffic. So you want to make sure you're not running on either one of those networks. This particular campaign, compared to a lot of my other campaigns that are running some kind of like maximize conversions or target CPA bid strategy, this one is just running manual CPC. The reason I'm running this and not max conversions or target CPA is because for this particular market, it just wasn't working. So I've found a clicks-based bid strategy to work well enough, and the conversion rate was sitting at like 30+% conversion rate. And I just said, I don't want to break that. So we're just going to leave it on manual. And every single time I've tried to switch it to a conversion-based bid strategy, it just hasn't really worked well. I think a big part of it is because, and this is something I've talked about in other videos, is that we just don't have enough search volume to really make a conversion-based bid strategy work. So we're running manual CPC on this one. And then the last thing is the location targeting. I want to go over this. The way we have things set up is I like to split things out really specifically. And then also I exclude everywhere we don't want to be showing up for. So these are all states. These are all the other counties within this particular state. This is Virginia. I exclude every place I don't want my ads showing up. And then when it comes to location options here, I always go with people in or regularly in your included locations. So that's a quick overview of the settings on the campaign. Let's go into the conversion actions really quick and I'll walk you through those. All right, so we are over in the conversion actions. On this particular campaign, I'm measuring 3 different conversion actions. So number 1, you have your landing page form submission. So these are people that put in stuff like name, phone number, email, vehicle they need tinted, all that kind of stuff. So it's a fairly detailed form submission, but it's not just, like a name and an email or something like that. So we got conversion actions for that. We have calls from the landing page. So this is somebody that actually hits the landing page, picks up the phone and calls. And then the last thing we have is the call extension leads. So these are the phone numbers that are actually on the ad themselves. So if somebody clicks on that phone number on the ad, that also gets counted, not just the click, but the actual call gets counted as a conversion on Google Ads. And it's really, really important that you set these up because you want to make sure that your campaign is actually optimizing for the things that you want to have your campaign optimized for. So you want to tell Google, hey, we want to get more phone calls, we want to get more form fills. And if you're not measuring that, then Google's not going to know what to optimize for. So you want to make sure that you have these things set up on your campaign, regardless of whatever industry you're in. You want to make sure you're tracking those conversions so you can actually optimize your campaign and let Google's algorithm kind of figure itself out. Another thing that is super, super important with any local business Google Ads campaign is you want to make sure that you have your campaign structure dialed in. So you want to make sure you're taking all of your keywords, putting them into ad groups like this, grouping them around different keyword themes, and making sure everything in these ad groups is relevant to that keyword theme. So every single one of these ad groups have keywords that are relevant to what the ad group is about. You can see these are geo ad groups. So all the keywords in this particular ad group are related to that location. Same thing with auto window tinting, vehicle window tinting, tint shops, car, window, etc., stuff like that. And if I go into here, you're going to notice all of the keywords in this ad group are specific to window tint. So window tinting near me, tint near me, window tinting close to me. And then all of the ads for this particular ad group are relevant to window tinting. So the whole idea here is you want to make sure that within each one of these ad groups, you have keywords that are specific to that theme. You want to show those people ads that are specific to those keywords. And then you want to send those people to landing pages that are specific to what they searched. If you do all that, you have that relevance through your campaign. What's going to happen is you're going to get higher conversion rates like this. Not only the higher conversion rates, you're going to get higher click-through rates as well, because when you show people an ad that is relevant to what they searched, you're going to get more people clicking on it, get more people converting, your cost per conversion is going to go down, and you're going to get more conversions at the end of the day. And to go off of the ad groups really quick, with the keywords on your campaign, if you want to get long-lasting good results from Google Ads, there's a couple things you want to have in mind. First off, you want to make sure that you're getting high quality, high intent keywords into your campaign. So you can see a lot of these are higher intent keywords. Window tinting near me, tint near me, window tint shops near me, car tinting near me, all that kind of stuff. You want to make sure that you're getting those types of keywords into your campaign, because if you are bidding on something that's, way too broad, like let's say you do roofing or something like that, and you're putting in just roofing as a keyword or roof or something like that, your ads are going to be showing up for a ton of irrelevant stuff. And when your ads are showing up for a ton of irrelevant stuff, people are going to be clicking on them. You're still going to get charged. So you want to make sure your keywords are very high intent and relevant to what you offer. And then on top of that, you want to make sure you're using match types. So you see on this campaign, I've got phrase match and exact match on all these different keywords. The reason why you want to do that is it's going to help you constrain Google a little bit to show your ads for things that are more relevant to what you offer. If you just put in broad match keywords, which is essentially a keyword without these little modifiers on it, like the quotes or the brackets, what ends up happening is Google will show your ad for a wild range of stuff. So it could be for products, for tutorials, for whatever is sort of broadly related to your particular industry or that search, Google is going to show your ads for. So you want to make sure you have high intent keywords. You want to make sure you're using phrase and exact match. And if you have those things in there along with the ad groups, then you should be pretty solid on the traffic side of things. But another thing you want to keep in mind on your campaign is you want to have negative keywords. These negative keywords are so important. You can build this through the keyword planner for Google, but you can also build this negative keyword list just by going through your search terms, adding them into your campaign. Because if you don't have those negative keywords, you're just not going to be able to tell Google the stuff that you don't want to show up for. Because if your ads, like I said before, if your ads are showing up for a bunch of irrelevant stuff, you're going to get charged for that. So if somebody searches for like a product related to your industry or something like that, and they click on your ad, you're still going to get charged regardless. So you have to do the due diligence to make sure that you have those negatives in there. You're bidding on the right keywords, using the right match types to kind of control that traffic. And that's going to help you a ton when it comes to running Google Ads for your local business. And one other thing we can talk about really quick is devices for this campaign. So for the main search campaign, I'm running mobile only. Reason being is we were running desktop and mobile before. Desktop just wasn't really working that great. So I totally trimmed it out. And I do this on a lot of campaigns, because if you start running a campaign, you're going to go in here and you might see one device converting better than another. And in a lot of cases, I see computers just not converting as well. And to kind of control that cost per lead and kind of trim things out a little bit. And usually what's best is just trimming that waste instead of like trying to do a bunch of testing and try to get that work. A lot of your traffic is going to be on mobile phones anyway. This is working well. You can see 33% conversion rate, $22 cost per conversion. Just went mobile only. So that one is running mobile only. Now, if we look at the retargeting campaign, this one is just open. So the retargeting campaign works a little bit different. You can exclude devices within the settings, but for this, I just let it go. And then Google kind of optimizes itself from there. And you can see a lot of the cost per conversions based on the different devices. Even on tablets, if the conversion rate is low, you can see the cost per click on tablets is 59 cents. So the cost per conversion on tablets is actually the best. For remarketing campaigns, a lot of them, they are performance max, as long as you're feeding in an actual audience. And that is really, really important because with these remarketing campaigns, you want to be feeding the campaign an audience that you build within Google Ads. So you want to be building an audience of people who have visited your landing page from your main campaign, as well as from organic traffic and all that kind of stuff. So that way your ads aren't showing to like a bunch of random people. Like the only people seeing this ad are people who have already engaged with this particular brand. So it's super important to have that set up. But yeah, so for the remarketing campaigns, I just kind of let them go. And a lot of the times, there hasn't been an issue. If I do see an issue, I'll trim something out, but usually Google kind of figures itself out from there. But yeah, that is a quick overview of this particular campaign. Really the biggest things I can recommend is number one, just make sure you're getting the right settings, the right keywords, the right structure for your main search campaigns. If you are going to run a Google Ads campaign for your particular local business, you want to make sure you have that structure. And also one thing I forgot to mention throughout this video is you want to make sure you're sending traffic to landing pages. If you are not sending traffic to landing pages for your particular campaign, you are most likely not going to see conversion rates that are over 20%. A lot of the time I see people sending traffic to the homepage of their website, and sometimes that can work, but for the most part, you're going to see a lower conversion rate. So you want to make sure you're sending all of this traffic on your campaign to landing pages. That's pretty much it for this video. Want to do a quick rundown of this particular campaign, but if you are the owner of a local business and you are thinking about getting a Google Ads campaign together, or you need help building one, optimizing one, all that kind of stuff, there's a link in the description below to apply for a consultation. What I can do is I can take these same strategies, same kind of structures, implement them in your market, and then help you optimize it to get a campaign up and running and generating you leads over the long term. Again, there's a link in the description below. You can fill that out and then that'll get sent over to me. I can review it, see if I can help you out. And if I can help you out, I will reach out to you and let you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you found this video helpful, would definitely appreciate a like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks.